Hello everyone, it's Julie from Julie Simon here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm doing something different from what I usually do here on the channel. I'm doing a renovation of the Goth's house. Now, I know that every single Sims builder out there has already done their own renovation of it, but I just wanted to make my own version of it to add my personal twist. Now, coming into this build, I actually didn't change a lot of the structure of it. I kept it mostly like the original one that we already had in the game. I just made that back turret smaller because I wanted to make the porch go all the way around until the back of the house. And of course, I deleted that weird attic space that used to be Alexander's room because it just looked so out of place in this house. Like, this house itself just looked so out of place in the world. Like, we have this beautiful world of Willow Creek that was inspired by New Orleans, and we have this not so beautiful but historical houses around the world, I would say. And then we had the Goth's house that just looked like a dark wizard's medieval fortress. And my main goal with this renovation was to make first it fit into Willow Creek, and second bring it into the 21st century because it just looked like it was built in the medieval times and it got stuck there and no one ever renovated it or bought updated furniture. That was just the vibe I got from it. And even though I wanted to make the build look newer and renovated it, I didn't want it to be completely different from the original build. So I kept the exterior mostly the same size and shape. And I also kept most of the color scheme the same. I just changed it the way it's made. So instead of having a completely black exterior, we have this white siding with black accents all through the exterior of the house, with the friezes and the spandrels and the fences and columns. They're all black, but there's not completely black, it's not something that will completely stand out in the middle of the street. And in the interior as well, instead of having this red or striped wallpaper all through the house, I decided to go with a more fancy color scheme. So I kept most of things black and white, at least the main parts, like the wallpapers. I use this light one from Vampires now, but I think I'll switch it for one of the base game wallpapers, like the same one that had before but with the black and white swatch. And I just feel like it feels more fancy and glamorous, more sophisticated in a way, and that's what I wanted to go for this house, a more sophisticated style. So instead of having that overwhelming amount of red in the interior, we have a black and white color scheme with a lot of red accents, and I think it looked a lot better. This house was a lot when I started. The original Goth's house was a lot, and to be honest, when I'm done with it, it's still a lot, but a lot better, if you get me. And even the layout of the rooms, I kept mostly the same. I just trying to change it in a way that make a little bit more sense. And I also added a third bedroom on the second floor for Alexander because I just don't know why the original house didn't have a place for him in the second floor. They clearly had enough space. And the original layout of this house was just so weird. If I'm not mistaken, the second floor balcony was accessed through a bathroom. The door to the balcony was in the side. Yes, it was in the side, and it was the bathroom. Now I can't remember if that's the main floor bathroom or if it was the master suite's bathroom, but it was just, why would you have a door to the balcony inside a bathroom? Imagine you're sitting on the balcony and then you decided to go inside, but you can't because there's someone taking a bath at a time and you don't want to walk through that person in the back. It's just it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's the type of thing that I fixed in this renovation. And by the way, I was incredibly indecisive when I was furnishing this house. So if now and then you see things pop on the screen that you didn't saw me placing, like it just happened in the living room, that's because I want to keep them, because I knew what style I wanted to go, but I just like wasn't sure on how to make it come to life. So I tested every single item in the game, especially on the living room. Like, the living room was my main struggle, and part of it was because I was dumb. So what did I struggle with? The rugs. I couldn't find the right rug to place there, because the ones who had the right pattern weren't the right size, and the ones who were the right size didn't have the right pattern. And I spent like most of the build struggling with it, until I remember I had the two mods installed and I could just make things the exact size I wanted. So yeah, unfortunately we'll have to sit here for this video and watch me being dumb. Another thing I struggled with were the curtains, because I wanted to add the red accents and like all this pattern, this craziness we had in the original house through the curtains, but the ones I have right now, they just seemed too much for me. They're not what I wanted, so in the end I would just go with the vampires curtains, not the ones that like are completely covering the windows, the smaller ones. That curtains, they're so beautiful. I think that's my favorite curtain in the game. And by the way, we don't have enough curtains in the game. We need more. Like, we need a base game update with a lot of curtains. So now I'm in the kitchen, and originally I was going to try and use this counter from vampires, but they were just looking too old style for me. So I'm changing it for this base game counter with the marble top. That one looks perfect for the style I was going for. And I also combined with the Jungle Adventures white cabinet, because the cabinet of this counter, I'm using the base gaming counter, they just don't match like the white swatch on the cabinets. They don't really look white. They're kind of bluish and it's weird. So I used the Jungle Adventure ones because they just look slightly more modern. Like, I didn't want this boat to be like modern looking, but I did want it to feel updated, because the Goths are rich. They have enough money to like renovate this house and update appliances as the times go on. Like, there's absolutely no reason for this house to have like old appliances and old counters and etc. etc. So it's like, it's kind of vintage, but it's also very new, and that's the look I try to go for in the entire house. Like, that's just the exact look. And yeah, there's not much else to say about the clutter of the kitchen. I guess I'm just placing random kitchen clutter everywhere, trying to make sure that it's lived in and giving them more appliances, because again, they're rich, they should be able to afford it. And I gave them a wine rack because Bella Goth actually has like the party animal party. She has like a lifetime wish that is related to partying. So I feel like they would probably have a lot of like dinner parties or receptions, or just invite a lot of friends over to have dinner with. So they would need a lot of place to store it, their juice, just saying. Also, one thing that I didn't add to this build, because I didn't have enough space for it, was a butler's room. Because I feel like the Goths would definitely be the type of family to have a butler, but like I didn't have enough space. So maybe if you want to play with them, you could hire a maid, because they're definitely the kind of family that has like someone doing the house chores for them. Like, I definitely can't imagine Bella Goth washing the dinners, or just like Mortimer Goth mopping the floor. Like, it won't happen. They have someone that works for them. And here I am, finally remembered that I have the 2 mod and sizing up the vampire's work. That was just exactly the one I wanted to add because it has a lot of red, it has a lot of detail, and it really brings out the red accent for the house. And now I changed the wallpaper for this one that has the dark wood paneling on the bottom because it was just feeling too white for me, and I wanted to bring out the dark colors a lot more. And I'm also working on the dining room, and I'm using this beautiful rug from Get Famous that I always forget that exists in this swatch. And to be honest, I'm just really proud of that room. Like, it's one of my favorite rooms in this house. It feels so fancy, it feels so grand. I love it. It's what this family deserves. And as I said, I wanted them to have like a lot of space to receive guests on their house, so I don't think it's bigger than it was before, but I just feel like we have more dedicated space to throw parties now because I will also give them a bar area there on the corner, and then I moved that vampire lounge thing that I have in the living room right now on the corridor area as well. And ooh, I hanged this painting that like really looked like Goth Mortimer Goth. I don't know why, but I just can't pronounce their names. It takes me 1,000 years to remember their names. So I'm sitting here like Mortimer Goth. But yeah, anyway, and I tried to use this knight statue here because they had this statue on the original build, and I'm placing it in the corner right now, but that's not where it's gonna stay in the end. And now I'm just placing this lounge from Vampires on that corridor area because it just looked nice. Like, imagine they're throwing a party and you're just sitting there in that lounger seat as someone prepares the drinks for you. It just seemed lovely. And I put the stereo from Get Famous as well on the living room, on the part where the lounger used to be, because I didn't want to use the same piece of furniture so close in the same house. So yeah, now we're moving to the upstairs, I think, and we're doing the master suite. And one thing I wanted to do was to give Bella a dressing table from Vintage Glamour, so she would have somewhere to get ready when she wanted to go out and put her makeup on. And yeah, just give her this beauty corner over this window area. And you might notice that right now we have this bed from Get Famous. So when I was originally furnishing this bedroom, I had this bed there and I decided, no, I don't like it. I'm going to change it for something else. So you see me in a bit that I will place actually the city living bed, the one with the curtains. But when I was editing this video, I decided that I liked the Get Famous bed a lot better, and it just fitted the rest of this house a lot better. So I went back and placed back the Get Famous bed in the same swatch we had before, but I just did it off camera, so you're not gonna see in this bit build, but that's the bed you're gonna get if you download this house from the gallery. Of course, that if you prefer the bedroom with the city living bed, you can just go ahead and replace it when you download it. I really don't care, I really don't mind if you decide to change my build after you download it. Just please don't re-upload it to the gallery. Not that I've had this happen to me before, but I don't know, it's better safe than sorry, I think. And now I'm just going to Cassandra's bedroom, and again, I kept most of the color scheme and layout the same. I just give her better furniture, I think. I really like this hot pink color scheme that she had going on in her room, and I decided to keep it, but I replaced her bed with the Vintage Glamour bed because it just looked more like a teenage bed to me. And you just saw that I changed the floor for the entire house. I had the black wood floor before and I replaced it with this dark wood swatch. I just thought that the entire house was looking a little bit too cold for me, and I think that having like this wood flooring makes it feel, I don't know, warmer, more inviting, just less cold, you know? That's what I mean. I don't know how to explain myself. But anyway, now I'm just cluttering up the walls in her bedroom, and I used those base game paintings with like the musicians. I never used this in houses before, but it was just perfect here because Cassandra has the music lifetime wish, and she's like a music lover, and that music paintings were just exactly the right color scheme as her bedroom. It was meant to be. It fitted perfectly. Oh, another thing I did, and I forgot to mention in this video, is I cut out the bathrooms because this video was getting way too long for a renovation, and I decided to cut out some things that I thought wasn't necessarily. So yes, I cut out the furnishing of the bedrooms, bathrooms, not the bedrooms. You just saw me furnishing the bedrooms. But anyway, and now I am doing this detailing with this flooring that it's from Vampires, I think, and I love it. It just really makes it look like an old house, doesn't it? I should use this floor detailing more because it just looks so beautiful. Vampires is a really good pack for building by mode, by the way. Like, if you're into this more vintage old style homes, Vampires is your pack to get because it just comes with some really good items. And here I am doing an office space upstairs because in the original house, Mortimer had a desk in his bedroom because he's actually a writer in game. He's in a writing career, so he needs a desk with a computer so he can do his job. And his desk was originally on his bedroom, but I used that area to place Bella's dressing table, and it would look way too cluttered to have like a dressing table and a computer desk side by side. So I was going to place it on the corridor, but it just felt weird to give him like an office space in the middle of the corridor. So I closed it off and I placed this archway because I didn't want it to look too closed off, you know? And I made that into an office space, and I gave them actually 2 desks and 2 computers so Bella would have some place to do her work as well, because she is in the secret agent career. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they will probably need a computer to do like their home assignments, like the tasks that your Sims have to do when after they go home. And I also placed the writing machine in the glass thingy in the office as a decoration item, just because I don't know, I feel like Mortimer would be the kind of person that has like a vintage writing machine on his office, you know, like he's a writer. He probably likes this kind of stuff. And now I'm in Alexander's room, and I'm giving him the room that he deserves. Now, Alexander is just a kid and he doesn't have like a lot of personality. He just has one personality trait in the game, and he is actually a bookworm, so I make sure to put some bookshelves in his bedroom. Unfortunately, I don't think that he will be able to access it because I placed his desk in front of it, but we have other bookshelves in the house, so if you want to make like Alexander read a book, you can just go like you can make him get a book from the living room bookshelf. And I didn't know what other theme I should go for the decoration of his bedroom, so I decided that he likes science. I don't know if that has like any base like on his lore or personality in game. I just saw the science poster and it was blue, and we had a lot of other science posters that were blue and fitted the color scheme, and I decided that he likes science and he wants to be a scientist. And as I was decorating his room, I actually created my own theory to why Alexander would like to be a scientist. So I don't know if you know about all the lore of Bella Goth in The Sims 2, that like she disappeared, and the main theory was that she was abducted by aliens, especially because afterwards she appears in The Sims 2 original version of Strangerville. Like there's probably a lot of Sims 2 fans out there that would be get completely pissed at me for this crappy explanation of Bella's Goth mystery. But you know, it's the best I can do right now. But my theory was like, after his mother was abducted by aliens in the Sims 2 storyline, he became obsessed with it and he decided to become a scientist. So he would be able to research more about aliens and space things, and he hopes to be able to find his mother through his career. So that's the story I came up with. Unfortunately, like, the office is still here in the Sims 4, so that wouldn't make so much sense in this version of this game. But you can pretend that someone else was abducted, like maybe he had a pet or whatever. So yeah, to be honest, I think this is all I have to say about this house. I really just wanted to be here to Alexander's bedroom because I wanted to explain my theory too. But now I'm just going to do the landscaping and I don't have much to say about it. So I think I'm gonna leave you here and leave you with some music. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up, and if you like this type of content, consider subscribing to my channel. I haven't done other renovations yet, but I do have one coming for my next video, so stay tuned for that. If you want to download this build from the gallery, by the way, I'm gonna have like my gallery ID and the link to the gallery website, so you can download it in the description of this video. So check out the description if you want more information about that. And yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you again in the next video, and bye bye!